How you doing? Today we're covering Demon Driven to the Moor by Brad Kerr, which is an amazing little module. It's currently 77 pence on DriveThruRPG, and I'm not sure what that is in your fancy American dollars, but it's dirt cheap. For a night's gaming, that is super, super cool. First off, the map's there, very, very simple, nothing kind of like big about it, no special effects, but it's lovely and loopy, and in this, you're going to be your players will be both exploring the castle and also trying to escape from the castle. And the fact that it's loopy and there's loads of routes around it is really, really good and will really, really lend itself to the entire game. So what's going on? A thief called Dougal has stolen the famed Sky Marble. And a drunkard in a tavern tells you that he's in Finhurst Castle in Edinburgh. And when you go there, there's a full party, or when your party arrives, there's a full-blown party there. They get welcomed in. But what's actually going on is there is a cadre of deer-hooved vampires who have commandeered the castle, and they're throwing this party to entertain or to impress the devil. And when your players go in, they're going to figure out the stuff is off there, and they're going to be looking for Dougal. And there's loads and loads of cool clues that's going to tell them that the stuff is off, and then it's just going to go nuts at one stage. So when you go in, you roll 4d4 and 44 plus 1, and that is the amount of turns it's going to be before it kicks off. Now, you don't have to do that. You can do it your own way and kick off whenever you want. And it is going to kick off. There is also little red caps in there that are going to be setting fire to stuff, and it's just cool. Now, one of the things I really like is at the start it says, "Who are you?" It sets up everything you need to run a one-shot. So it is... Did I mention also this is in 16th century Scotland, which is awesome. So you could be looking to capture Dougal, which is your classic, or you could be a comrade of them, or you could be looking to steal the Sky Marble. It's up to yourself. You set it up at the start, and it will probably change the flavour a little bit. So there's, again, everything on two facing pages, which I adore, and it doesn't just give you the full introduction of the module. It also lets you know that things like the windows were meant for defense, not egress, so you can't climb out of them, and the doors are going to be locked. And once once it kicks off and the nightmare phase starts, and the red caps are going to start setting fire to everything. People are going to be dying all around you unless you save them, and it's just going to be bedlam, which is super cool. And your players are going to have to work really hard to get out of here. And it's not just a case of fighting their way out as well. I really love this kind of like section here. It gives you a really good flavour of some of the different players in here. And again, a lot of this is going to be interaction. So Brother Tarley, violent Dow-faced Puritan, always wrong about everything except for this one time. More than likely going to accuse the PCs of being demons as well. Hillel, the Morning Star, literally Satan. Doesn't really care about all this blood and sacrifice stuff as much as everybody thinks he does, but a party is a party. What he wants is personal freedom, uninhibited pleasure, and thoughtful discourse. You've also got Bithia, who's a raven-haired, deer-hoofed vampiress in charge of tonight's party. A type A personality who wants to impress her boss. It's just cool stuff, really, really cool stuff that will be a lot of fun to play with your players. Lum is a giant from the underworld, sad that her date ditched her, wants a good time, a hot meal, and some basic human kindness. It's not just straightforward D&D, which I love. The stat blocks, really, really cool. The Bavanshi are... one of the nice things about Cairn is... most of the stat blocks not only are super simple and you know exactly how to run, super easy to convert to anything else, but they also have it like a special ability which really, really helps give all the individual monsters flavour. So what will happen is if there's critical damage, they will suck a string of blood out like an open wound, like spaghetti from anywhere within 30 feet. That's just brilliant. The red caps, they are invisible unless they are following or interacting with you, which again, through this module, is going to leave loads and loads of cool options for your players knowing something's wrong, which is, again, it adds really good stuff for the crazy phase, but also really good stuff for almost like the investigation phase at the start. So it gives you some advice. Keep track of rounds, which is really, really important. Also keep track of the red caps. Every time you go in a room, there's a 2 in 6 chance of one's going to appear, and when they outnumber the players, they're going to attack the players because they're cowards, which is cool. So you go in, and in the when you get in there in the cabinet, that is going to be the cloakroom. There's a dead butler underneath that lies underneath the cloaks, and the servants are going to try and stop you from going in there. You don't know whether the players would bite on that or not, but there's loads of this stuff kind of through the module. You go into the Great Hall, and there's a trio of frowning, leathery witch hunters. Brother Tarly and his men eye a group of green frock maidens. They're working up the nerve to attack them. So there's this kind of underlying tension in the module as well. And again, you don't quite know who's who or what's what. This is really, really cool. Great interactivity, and it'll make the party feel alive. It's a table that just has cool stuff that's going to be happening in the party mode. So at PCC, somebody put something in the punch bowl. It's a potent hallucinogen. Just cool little things that is going to make it different anytime you run it, which again, as a GM, I love, especially for 77 pence. So there's a gallery. In the gallery, there's a guy there called Elder Sibald. He swears a tiny, ugly man is following him, but no one believes him. It's a red cap. Nobody can see him apart from the person who's been followed. And again, it's seeded so lovely. It's a great read as well. So as you go through, more and more stuff is going to kind of point you that the stuff is going wrong. There's loads of these little tables that make each room enlivened and make them feel alive, which I love. There is a minister, a farmer, a knight, and a commonly youth Hillel himself. Servants seem to be doting on the youth. Piles of gourmet food sit in front of him. But currently there's a debate about the paradox of prayer. Prayer as a vehicle for change conveys heretical defiance of divine predetermination plan, or at best a selfish plea for special favour. It's just cool. Yeah, like you could super play that out for a while, and your players would not know what's going on, but they would be super curious. So they'll continue working their way through depending on how you've decided when it's going to kick off. And like in the kitchen, if they go in there, they are basically some of the Bovenshi, they're voicing concerns that the Morning Star is enjoying himself. And the chef has actually already, one of the things that these things can do is remove their own skin and switch skin around. They've actually removed their skin and they're washing it in a basin. So it's going to be potentially the first sign that players are going to see that this is off. I need to get out of here. Again, all the rooms, very, very cool. Loads of cool stuff going on in them. As you go further on, there is a literal hellmore, a mouth that you can get, your players can end up going into hell. And when they get down to the vaulted undercroft, that's where they're going to find the guy Jugal, who's got the marble as well. It gives you really good, nice, cool stuff of what you can do if they decide to go into hell, even though they'd be mad if they did. But you could also run some adventures in hell if you wanted to extend it. This is gold. Hold on one second. I'm going to cough here. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is gold. It does it so well, this module. Tables of cool stuff that you can just roll on and throw at your players and keep yourself surprised as well. Random villagers at the party. You can roll on it, you can read your favourites and take them out and have a bunch of little things ready to go at the table. Random party small talk. No heavy lifting for the DM or the GM, just it's there for you. Random Bovenshi or Bavenshi. It smells like rosewater, long slender neck, well manicured, soft spoken, demure. Extremely tall. It just gives you really cool random things and you can pick out your favourites, okay? That's terrible. Spice up Nightmare Woad with these awful setting dressings. It's just a brilliant little module. The link below, you can get it on DriveThruRPG for next to nothing. I would run the hell out of this. It would be an absolute blast for a night's gaming. And I think not just a blast for your player, it would be a blast for you to run as well. Everything's there in a few pages. Brilliant. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one.